Hi everyone and Happy New Year. I wanted to start off by saying thank you all so much for your love, support. Thank you for liking, sharing and commenting and following me all through this journey in the year 2025. I can't believe in February it will be a year since doing this channel. And this channel, it really was a passion project for me. It's really a channel for you, not for me, so that I can share what I've learned, support you all, give you all advice, anything that will make your journey here as an international teacher a bit easier. So thank you all so much for supporting me throughout this journey, and I look forward in this year of 2026 to further growth, more stories, more guests, and providing as much information as I can to support you all in any way, to empower you all, to inspire you all, to help you all believe that you all can do it as much as I do in myself. So thank you all again for joining us. And in this week episode, I apologize it's late, but it's been, readjusting to the year and to teaching and to the routines. But I'm here this week to continue with our series of Money Matters. Stay tuned. In this episode of Money Matters, I wanted to discuss something that I guess lives close and dear to my heart, which is living below your means. Now, in the first episode, we would have introduced and then we would have talked about budgeting, etc. So if you haven't seen those, go back to it. I also asked or said if you all wanted a template, a PDF as to how to a guide for doing your budget, you can comment down below and the link will be provided. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, go back to that previous video where we spoke about budgeting. Because budgeting is definitely key when you are trying to make the money work for you here in the US as an international teacher. So in this episode, I wanted to touch on living below your means. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm following my guide. So this is about creating margins with your money so that you may be able to enjoy your money and also not have stress or insecurities with money because we are trying to achieve financial peace. So we're going to give some steps and things, talk about that here in this. Like we spoke about prior, one of the things I think that was a shift for me is your mindset around money. And I would have mentioned before, if you don't understand money, you will never have money. Oftentimes we think that if we have more money, we'll be successful. But when we get the more money, we find more reasons to spend that money. So it's really about changing that mindset. So I wanted to share creating a margin. Margin shouldn't be looked at as deprivation or punishment, but as guidelines so that you feel safer, you feel calmer, you feel more in charge as to where your money goes. So in this episode, margin, something I note I wrote, margin gives you room to breathe, to save, to give, to enjoy your life without constant stress. Where the money coming from, what to do next, I don't have money. So we're going to look at what are some tips I can share to help you create those margins for your needs, for your health and wealth and your happiness with regards to money. Financial peace comes from margin, not more money. Like I said before, it's not necessarily about making more money. It's about what do you do with what you already have. So living below your means means spending less than you earn. We'll dive into that. Choosing peace over appearances and planning for tomorrow without hating today. Stay tuned. Spending less than you earn consistently. Now, I am pretty big on saving. That's something that has always been near and dear to my heart. So I would like to share spending less than you earn is definitely one of the ways to increase your saving and to give you that financial peace. That's why, as I showed in the first episode, creating a budget is important. So check out that video. Now, when you have that budget, a budget gives you a guide to spend. It gives you permission to spend. Whatever in that budget that you didn't plan for spending, unless it's a need that comes up, you should not be spending that money. Sometimes we go back in and we take out, oh, we have extra money. Let's spend it. Let's buy this. Something come up, a sale or whatever the case is. But then what is that doing for your long-term goals if it is to save? So you should try to spend within your means, spend less than you earn so that you can save more. Again, as I said, circumstances are different for us as international teachers as we are here for a period of 3 to 5 years. And how would you like to go back home? Would you like to go back home with money? Or would you like to go back home starting from scratch, to look for a job again or whatever it is for you? So why margin matters for teachers? Teachers' incomes are often fixed. So it's not like other jobs where you can work more hours, you can get bonuses or whatever the case is to help you out. Our income is pretty fixed. Unexpected costs may come up. That's why it's good to have a margin and have a part within your budget where you are putting aside money for a rainy day. Margin protects you from panic in a debt. So you have a debt, you have something that come up, something on a rise. If you already have money set aside for it, you won't feel stressed because you have money to take care of whatever that little problem is. So it's good to have something set aside, your savings. Margin allows you to be generous and flexible. Of course, for persons who pay tithes, persons who have different responsibilities in their home country, whether it's to send back money, having those savings and budgeting correctly allows you to do all of that. So it's important to have those margins. Admit, it means never enjoying life. No, that's not true. When you have margins, like I said with budgeting, it gives you permission to spend. Carve out a window in your budget if it is feasible for you to do so, to put aside money towards whatever trip you may take. In life, we must have boundaries, we must have parameters for what we can do. So if you want to enjoy a special meal, let's say once a month, you want to take yourself to a restaurant, once a week, you want to do something, whatever the case is, just find a way to figure out how can you do it within the money you have. Remember, you're still trying to save, but you have to enjoy life as well. So putting aside whatever money towards those goals within your budget will be helpful to keep you at peace, saving as well as enjoying. Admit it is embarrassing or restrictive. It doesn't have to be. Again, if you plan well, everything will work out. As I tell my kids sometimes, if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Now, that is also with your finances. If it is you are not planning, budgeting your money wisely, then that's how you will end up in a situation where you find the money is not working for you. You have to master your money and make it work for you by budgeting, by planning properly. Yeah. And a truth, it is temporary, purposeful, empowering. Margins also give you choices. It also reduces anxiety and regret. We spoke about emotional spending, that sometimes is something persons do. So all of these things, having margins, keep you away from those things. These are some simple ways that I have created margins for myself. Maybe it can be beneficial to you as well. Decide your priorities first. What are the things that matter most to you? We spoke about when creating our budget, we focus on what are our needs, long-term, short-term goals, whatever the case is. Prioritize what do you need? What are the things that is most important to you? Lower fixed expenses when possible. So there are ways in which people can go about refinancing different things in order to lower whatever debts you may have. Yeah. So you can figure out those things, ask questions, search the internet to go about if you can readjust those things, as well as fixing expenses with first not making the purchase in the first case. That's something I know for some of us, we are impulse buyers, emotional spenders. So try not to spend the money in the first case. Stick to your budget. Plan spending before month starts. I would have spoke about with the budgeting aspect. It's good to plan before. So that means the month is coming up. We are in January now. I like to do my planning on the 21st. So a week or so before the payday comes, I have a plan. I know where my money is going. It's easy to do when our salary is fixed. So it's not going up or down, it's fixed. So we know already how much we are getting. What can you do with it? So having that plan. Use cash or debt or debit for problem areas. Now, something I'm learning doing my course currently, Financial Peace with Dave Ramsey, is when you spend cash, you feel it more versus if you use credit cards, debit cards as well, but more so cash. So I'm learning now and I'm hoping to one day cut off my credit card because, of course, having credit cards, it gives you a little more freedom and calmness. You're spending money that is not yours, but then you are accruing debt. Because of course, when you spend the credit card now there's an interest going on that. So now you need to pay back the money you spend plus some more. Yeah. Say no to comparison spending. That's something as well you want to be cautious of. Don't spend money to save money. Sometimes you may see a deal. You were going to buy one item. The item was, let's say, $3. But they say, okay, if you buy two items, you're going to get it for $5 if you buy two. Yeah. Now you are spending money, spending more than you plan to spend in order to save $1. I know it makes sense sometimes if it is you're planning to really use that product and you're going to use it and it was going to come back and buy it anyway in the following week, but sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's just a way for them to get more money out of you that you weren't going to spend in the first case. So be careful of those things. So what I would advise to do a weekly margin check-in, which involves, did spending my money bring peace or pressure this week? Think about your spending. Something that has helped for me is writing a log, keeping a log of what money I spent, keeping a log of my receipts and various things for the week to see how did I spend my money. Did I really spend my money on my needs? Check your budget. Did I spend my money on the things I budgeted for? Or am I going outside of the margin I created for myself? It's about discipline too. Where did I feel tempted to compare? Buy one, get one half off, not free. Those things like that. What choice helped me feel calmer? What are some things, again, being mindful, being self-aware, what are some things that brought me peace when I spent my money this week? Was it because I didn't have to worry because this was a part of my budget? I planned was to spend $50 at the grocery and I really spent $50 at the grocery. So looking at those things can be a guide for what you can do going forward, as well as if you are checking it, what is something I need to change going forward? And lastly, margin is the space where peace lives. Remember that as well. Margin gives you peace, financial peace. So guys, thank you all for joining us here again today, where we discussed how creating margins can give us that financial peace we are looking for, especially here as an international teacher. I would like to find out what is something in this video that impacted you, that spoke to you in a really meaningful way, that helped you with something you are now looking at going forward into 2026 with your personal finances. And also, can you share with me what's something you think you need to apply from this video with creating margins for yourself? What's a margin you think you would need to work on this year so that you can get to that financial space that you would like for yourself? So everyone, thank you all for joining us again today here, where we discuss creating margins as an international teacher, why it is important, and what are some things you can do to create margins for your finances. I really hope this video was impactful and helpful to you in some way. And going forward, you may use some of these tips and strategies to create those margins that will allow you to be more financially successful. Like I said, we are building a teaching community here where we support each other, even with finances. So share down below what are some things you do that helps your finances that will be beneficial to those readers in the comments. So thanks again for tuning in. Do have a wonderful 2026, and I look forward to talking with you all next episode. Bye for now.